All right, get ready, because today we're going to really dig into the world of international construction.
Yeah.
We're talking about those absolutely massive projects, the kind that span entire continents,
Huge.
redefine skylines, and have these budgets that are just
Oh, yeah.
mind-boggling.
Absolutely.
But have you ever thought about the logistics behind those mega builds?
Right.
It's got to be like a giant jigsaw puzzle.
It is.
How do you keep a product like that on track and on budget, especially when it also has to comply with laws in multiple countries all at the same time?
Exactly.
I mean, that's a lot to juggle, right?
Oh, it's a ton.
Well, today we've got this fascinating case study for you.
Oh, great.
It features a company called International Dynamics,
Okay.
and they're tackling huge projects for the U.S. Army all over the globe.
Wow.
And they're doing it incredibly efficiently.
That's impressive.
And the secret,
What is it?
some seriously smart software.
It really shows how technology is reshaping construction, We're not just using blueprints and bulldozers anymore. It's all about data and integration.
Right.
These intelligent systems
Yeah.
that help companies handle complexity on a whole new level.
Exactly.
It's a game changer.
So International Dynamics, they're operating in Egypt, the UAE, Iraq.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you name it, they're probably building something there.
Seriously.
Now imagine the headaches, juggling different languages, currencies, time zones,
Oh, yeah.
not to mention navigating all those regulations in each country.
Yeah, that's got to be a nightmare.
It's enough to make anyone want to just give up.
I bet.
And then there's the sheer scale of these projects, right? We're
Yeah.
talking about coordinating maybe hundreds,
Wow.
maybe even thousands of subcontractors, suppliers, materials,
It's mind-boggling.
all while keeping costs and timelines under control.
Yeah.
It's a huge undertaking.
Absolutely massive.
So how did International Dynamics do it?
Yeah, how did they pull it off?
They implemented this software called ERP, which stands for Enterprise Resource Planning.
So what is that exactly?
It's basically a system that acts as the central nervous system
Okay.
for their entire operation.
Interesting.
It connects every department, every project, and every location into one unified platform.
So like a digital command center for the whole business.
You got it.
That's smart.
It gives them real-time visibility into every single part of the business.
Wow. So everything from finance and HR to this supply chain and project progress,
That's exactly right.
that kind of integration is critical for any global company, right?
Oh, for sure.
But especially in construction, where any little delay or miscalculation
Oh, yeah.
can have huge consequences.
Absolutely.
One little hiccup can throw everything off.
So now that we have the big picture, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Right, let's do it.
One of the most impressive things International Dynamics achieved with ERP was in cost control.
Okay, so how much did they save?
We're not talking about just cutting a few corners here and there.
Right.
They managed to reduce their overall expenses by 12%
12%.
within just the first quarter of using the system.
That's huge.
To put that into perspective,
Yeah.
for a multi-million-dollar project, that kind of saving
Oh, yeah.
could make or break the whole thing.
Absolutely.
So how did they do it?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
It wasn't about cutting corners or squeezing their suppliers.
Okay.
It was about using real-time data to make smarter, more strategic decisions.
It's interesting.
Imagine having this dashboard that shows you exactly where every dollar is being spent
Wow.
across all your projects,
Okay.
broken down by category, location, vendor, you name it.
That's incredible. So you have complete transparency.
That's the kind of detailed insight ERP provides.
So it's like having a financial x-ray of your entire operation.
Exactly.
You can pinpoint exactly where costs are getting out of control and then take action immediately.
No more waiting for those monthly reports
Or
or relying on desk work.
It's proactive cost management.
And the results speak for themselves.
They certainly do. But cost control was just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
International Dynamics also faced another huge challenge,
Which was,
navigating the complex world of international regulation.
oh yeah, that's a big one.
And that's where ERP's automated compliance management feature comes in.
So it helps them stay on the right side of the law.
It's like having a whole team of global legal experts built into the system,
Wow.
making sure every project follows local laws and regulations no matter where it is.
That's got to be a huge relief, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not just about avoiding fines or penalties. It's
Oh.
about minimizing risk, protecting your company's reputation,
Yeah.
and making sure everything runs smoothly across borders.
So how does it actually work?
Well, this automated compliance management is powered by this sophisticated rules engine
Okay.
that's constantly updated with the latest regulations worldwide.
So they don't have to keep checking manuals and spreadsheets.
Yep.
The system just flags any potential compliance issues automatically.
Exactly, saving them a ton of time and reducing the risk of errors.
It's like a safety net that catches those problems before they even happen.
Pretty much.
But as you mentioned, cost control and compliance are just two pieces of the puzzle.
Right.
Let's talk about another challenge. IX ERP helped them tackle,
Okay.
keeping projects on schedule.
Oh, yeah, that's huge in construction.
And this is where those project progress tracking and oversight tools really shine.
You mean that central command center idea we were talking about?
Exactly. IX ERP gives project managers a real-time view of how every project is progressing.
So they can see the big picture and the small details.
All in one place.
That's incredible.
They can track deadlines, monitor workflows,
Okay.
identify bottlenecks, even
That-
get alerts if something's falling behind.
That's got to be so helpful.
It's invaluable for keeping these large-scale projects on track.
And did it actually work?
Oh yeah, International Dynamics saw about an 8% reduction in timeline deviations across their projects.
That might not sound like much, but
But in construction, where time is money,
it's a big deal.
that kind of efficiency translates into big cost savings.
For sure.
It's a major competitive advantage.
Totally. It's the difference between finishing on time and on budget
Right,
versus facing delays and penalties.
exactly. But it's not just about meeting deadlines.
What else is there?
It's about making sure those deadlines are met without sacrificing quality
Right.
or cutting corners.
Okay.
And that's where IX ERP's subcontractor and supplier management capabilities come in.
So let's talk about subcontractors and suppliers.
They're the unsung heroes of any construction projects.
Totally.
They bring the materials, the expertise, the manpower.
It's all on their shoulders.
But managing all those moving parts, especially across different countries,
Oh, I bet that's a nightmare.
it can be a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to conduct an orchestra, but your musicians are scattered across 3 continents,
Wow.
and you're communicating with smoke signals.
That's a great analogy.
That's kind of what International Dynamics was dealing with before IX ERP.
Seriously.
But IX ERP brought everything into harmony.
I like that.
It gave them real-time visibility into every shipment, every deadline, every moving part.
So no more frantic phone calls.
Exactly. No more lost emails or surprise delays.
It's all streamlined and coordinated.
It's about communication, coordinated deliveries, making sure everything arrives on time and in the right place.
That's going to be a huge weight off their shoulders.
It is, but it gets even better. IX ERP also helped them optimize their vendor costs
How so?
through centralized purchasing and procurement.
But what does that mean exactly?
It means they could leverage their buying power to get volume discounts
Makes sense.
and negotiate better deals with suppliers.
So they're saving money on both ends.
We're talking about a 7% reduction in procurement expenses,
Wow.
which adds up to big savings over the life of a project.
It's all about working smarter, not harder.
Absolutely. But let's not forget about one of the most groundbreaking features of IX ERP.
What's that?
It's AI-powered predictive financial forecasting.
Oh, yeah. That's the really futuristic stuff.
It's like having a crystal ball for your budget.
So tell me more about how that works.
Well, it uses artificial intelligence to analyze all sorts of data.
Like what?
Historical data, current market trends, even things like weather patterns,
Leather pattern.
to create really accurate financial forecasts.
That's incredible.
It allows companies like International Dynamics to not just react to what's happening,
Okay.
but to anticipate future needs.
So like potential budget issues.
Exactly, and even predict their profitability really accurately.
Wow. It's like having a financial GPS guiding them towards success.
That's a great way to put it.
And here's what's really remarkable.
What's that?
While all this was happening, International Dynamics was actually expanding.
Really?
They remember we talked about scalability?
Yeah.
They managed to grow by an incredible 17% in just 1 year.
So they were taking on more work and still seeing these amazing improvements.
Exactly.
It just goes to show how the right technology can be a catalyst for growth.
Without a constraint.
They achieved a 9.2% increase in year-over-year profit,
Wow.
all while maintaining those high standards of quality and customer satisfaction.
It's incredible.
It really shows how technology can empower companies to do more, better, and faster.
Without sacrificing what matters most.
Exactly.
So it's clear that IX ERP was a game changer for International Dynamics.
Absolutely.
But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening. It really makes you think how software can help companies Not only just do well, but tackle big problems in the world too.
Right, like global challenges.
Yeah, like imagine if all these big construction projects weren't just efficient, but also, good for the environment
Yeah,
and help the communities they're in.
totally. We'd be using technology to build a better future.
Exactly. And it's not just a pipe dream. We're already seeing companies using IX ERP to track their environmental impact,
Oh, cool.
like their carbon footprint, and
Nice.
make sure they're using materials responsibly.
And treating workers fairly, I'm guessing.
Absolutely. It's like sustainability is being built right into these projects from the start.
That's amazing.
And as these projects get more and more complex,
Yeah, with all the different countries and people involved,
a system like IX ERP becomes essential.
I can see why.
It keeps everything and everyone connected
Right.
and makes sure everyone's on the same page.
So it's kind of like the software is evolving alongside the construction industry.
That's a great way to put it.
Keeping up with a world that's increasingly global and interconnected.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder what's next.
What do you mean?
What does the future hold for construction as this tech gets even better and easier to use?
It's pretty exciting to think about, right?
Definitely. I mean, we're already seeing 3D printing being used to build whole buildings.
I know, it's crazy.
And with AI and robotics getting better all the time,
Oh, yeah.
who knows what we'll be able to do in a few years.
And even using new materials like bio-based stuff.
It's not just about the tech itself, though.
What else is there?
It's about how we use it.
Right.
We're seeing companies using data to make smarter decisions about every aspect of construction,
Oh, that makes sense.
from design to logistics to resource allocation.
So it's like the construction industry is finally catching up to the rest of the world when it comes to data.
Yeah, exactly. And imagine what we could do with all that data.
Like what?
We could predict problems before they even happen,
That would be amazing.
or design buildings that are perfectly adapted to their environment.
I can see it now.
And when data is used the right way,
Yeah.
it leads to better projects.
More sustainable, too.
Absolutely. Projects that are not just pretty to look at, but actually work well.
And are built to last.
Exactly.
So what does all this mean for our listeners?
I think the first takeaway is that tech is constantly changing.
And that we need to keep up with it.
Yeah. And if you embrace it,
And adapt.
you'll have a big advantage no matter what you do.
Sure.
It's not about becoming a tech expert.
Right.
It's about being open to new ways of doing things.
And using technology to reach your goals.
Exactly.
The second takeaway is the importance of data.
Oh, yeah. Data is key.
Whether you're running a business, managing a project, or just making decisions in your personal life.
You need good data to make good choices.
It's like a compass in a sea of information.
It helps you find your way.
And make sure you're headed in the right direction.
You're not just guessing anymore.
You're making informed choices.
Based on evidence.
And that can make all the difference.
It really can.
And finally, I think this story reminds us that even in traditional industries like construction,
There's always room for innovation,
it's about pushing boundaries and finding better ways to do things.
no matter what you do.
Don't be afraid to question how things have always been done.
Right, and experiment and learn and grow.
You never know what amazing things you might discover.
Absolutely. And that's something we should all strive for.
Whether we're building skyscrapers or building a better future,
The principles are the same.
innovation, adaptability, and a willingness to embrace new ideas,
Those are the keys to success.
especially in the 21st century.
Totally. And who knows, maybe some of these innovations from construction will trickle down into our everyday lives,
I hope so.
making things easier and more efficient for all of us.
That's a future I can definitely get behind.
Me too.
So, if you want to learn more about IXERP and how it's changing the construction industry,
Check out their website.
it's a really fascinating look into the future of building.
And it shows how technology can solve real-world problems.
And maybe it'll even give you some ideas for how you can use technology to achieve your own goals.
That's what we love to see here at the Deep Dive.
Listeners who are inspired to learn, grow, and make a difference.
And on that note, we'll leave you with one final thought.
As technology keeps advancing at this incredible pace,
What role will it play in shaping our world?
and how can we use its power to create a better future for everyone?
It's a big question.
But it's one worth asking.
And as always, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
It's amazing to think that software like IX, ERP isn't just about making more money.
Yeah.
It's actually changing how we think about construction.
Absolutely, even on a global scale.
Like, imagine a future where these huge construction projects
Yeah.
are not just these impressive feats of engineering,
Right.
but they're also really sustainable,
Yeah.
leaving a positive impact on the environment
For sure.
and the communities around them.
Exactly. We're talking about a future where buildings work with nature,
Right.
not against it.
Where we use resources responsibly.
Yeah.
And technology helps create a world that's fairer and more prosperous for everyone.
And that future is closer than we think.
Really?
We're already seeing companies use IX ERP to reduce waste,
Oh, wow.
shrink their carbon footprint,
That's
even make sure they're getting materials ethically,
It's like this software is giving them the tools to build a better world.
one step at a time.
It's really inspiring to see how technology can be a force for good.
It's not just about construction either.
You're right, it's across industries.
It makes you think what other problems we could solve.
If we just thought outside the box.
Exactly.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into international construction and IX ERP, I want to leave you with one last thought.
Okay, sure.
The future isn't something that just happens to us.
Right.
It's something we create,
Through our choices
our actions.
and our belief in what we can achieve.
Technology is evolving faster than ever.
And it's up to us to use it wisely.
To build a world that's not just smarter and more efficient,
Yeah,
but also more sustainable and equitable and fulfilling.
for everyone.
So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the ideas that shape our world.
Thanks for joining us.
And we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.